Alright, guys, for number 5, we have a code up, up, down, down, left, right, BA, BA, select, start. Anyone know the answer to that one? I don't know who actually doesn't know the answer to that one. It's Contra for the NES, number 5 on my list. In Contra, I mean, most people have played this or know what it's all about, but you play as one of two armed military commandos, Bill and Lance, who are sent. They're on a mission to neutralize terrorists called Red Falcon, and they're planning an alien invasion on Earth. Basically, it's just not all, but mostly side-scrolling action. You're shooting guys. You know, one bullet takes them out. You got some machine guns that come up in the meantime. Some of the boards are actually north and south, up and down, and a couple were early attempts at 3D, which were those tunnel levels. But overall, just an amazing game. They came out with a billion and one different sequels for this game, most notably Super C, which Contra, the original Contra came out in 1988 in February, I believe, and the Super C came out in 1990, I think it was, 89 or 90, so it was like a year or two later, and by far the best two versions. I know they have a Contra on Xbox Live. They have a whole like, this game is never going to die. I mean, they have a million and one versions of it. And but it all started here. It all started with the best one, I feel, and that's Contra for the NES, number 5 on my list. Number 4, I can actually sum up in one word only. Mario. That's it, just Mario. I don't need to say anything else about it. Everyone knows who he is. Everyone knows the revolution that started with this game. So pretty much number 4, Mario. Alright, number 3 on my list is the game by SNK, Baseball Stars. Released in July of 1989. It was one of the first sports games to have data memory, where players could create a team, configure a league, and play a season, and the game's memory chip stored all the cumulative statistics. It was the first sports game for the NES to actually have a create a player feature, giving any kind of gamer the power to name their player as well as their team. The game also introduced a role-playing element. As each game played, you earned money. The winning team earned money, and the amount won is directly related to the sum of the prestige ratings of the players from both of your teams. The money could be used to purchase upgrades to the various abilities of your players, and you could also purchase pre-designed players in 3 different categories, which was rookie, veteran, and all-star. Also, first time ever, the hidden feature that allowed you to purchase female baseball players, and also female. You could create an all-female team. Whichever, if I remember the code correctly, on the main menu it was down, right, left, down, right, up, up. Anyone out there could either correct me or validate me on that one. I'm not sure. And if you wanted to create the female team, it was down, right, left, down, right, up, down, up, and then you select that option, and it would create those teams for you. So actually, if anyone didn't know those yet, there's a little bit of a freebie for you. But Baseball Stars, definitely innovative and definitely a first of its kind, and it definitely led to a lot of great games. And continuing with the code theme here, number 2, we're going to say 0073735963. That is the clue to number 2 to reveal the identity of that game. I'll give you a second to think about that one. Or else, I could also give you 0054345423. Yeah, I got a sick brain. Sometimes I remember things I really shouldn't. Those codes go to the game Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. Not Punch-Out, but Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. The best Punch-Out there was, the only one that should have existed, in my opinion. Again, with the release of the new Punch-Out that just came out for the Wii, as well as Super Punch-Out on the Super NES, we had Punch-Out, which was the sort of sequel to Mike Tyson's Punch-Out after Tyson's contract ended. Everyone pretty much knows this game. Everyone loves it. It's one of the best, to this day, probably one of the best boxing games ever, honestly. I haven't tried the new Punch-Out yet. I have yet to give that one a try, but I'm sure this one gives it a run for its money just because of just how classic it is. But yeah, those 2 codes, again, 2 freebies in case you didn't remember them or didn't know them. And number 2 on my list, just because of the sheer entertainment value of it and the fact that you get to have the crap beat out of you by Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, number 2. And finally, coming in at number one, it's the Tecmo Super Bowl. Came out in 1991, obviously by Tecmo. It was the first game that actually had licensing privileges with both the NFL and the Players Association, which basically allowed it to use all the correct teams as well as the correct players, which is the first game to ever do so. There was an NFL football game which only used the teams, and there was Tecmo, just Tecmo Bowl, which only used the players. This is the first to combine both. Basically, it had all 28 teams, expanded rosters, expanded playbooks, statistics tracking, and pretty much every other improvement over its predecessor, Tecmo Bowl, which basically was the start and the basis for all major games today. Which this is the first one that had the memory chip, which remembered the season. It kept track of all your stats. You could actually, what do you call it? Substitute players. You could edit your playbook. It was really the first game that really took hold of the game and tried to explore every aspect of it. And even to this day with Madden, with the incredible things they do with that game, and NFL 2K5, to me the best football game other than this game, the best football game ever for the next gen consoles. A lot of that stuff is based around the ideas that this one started to experiment with. So just for its major impact, I'm definitely putting this number one. I still, to this day, I played this about 3 or 4 days ago on my NES. It's still in regular rotation for me, and even though it's the 1991 roster of everyone who doesn't even play anymore, I'm still all over this game, and I still love it to this day. So that would be number one on my top 10 NES games, and that's going to do it, guys. That's going to wrap up my top 10 NES list. Hope you enjoyed it. This is ACCardShark. Talk to you soon, guys.